Hi Aquarius, welcome to The Modern Spiritualist. My name is Raheem. We're going to look at May for you. You can use this for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, or North Node. Thanks for your patience this month. Some things got pushed back. Just been super busy. But I'm here, and we're going to do May. So Celtic cross spread using the Quantum Tarot deck. There are no reversals in this deck, plus a Threads of Fate Oracle card. We're going to start there. That's going to be your catalyst energy, which means it serves as the highest vibration possible for this spread this month. So if you get lost in process and you need a reminder of what you're doing here, you can always refer back to the catalyst energy to get you back on track. So I pulled the Reclaim card for May for you. First thing that comes through is, soul reclamation, shadow reclamation. So this is a good month to do shadow work. This is a good month to get a soul retrieval or some sort of shamanic healing or any sort of healing modality that works for you to reclaim parts of yourself that you've lost or gifts that you've lost. And that's coming in so strong. So I know that, the Aquarians of my community are paying attention to this for sure. So I'm trying to bring it down to kind of like a more foundational, soul reclamation completely. There's a lot of empowerment in this, and there's also a lot of just like commitment and awareness and maturity coming through for you. So it seems like whatever this reclamation process is for you, and it does seem to be on a soul level, like reclaiming soul gifts, reclaiming soul parts, transforming shadows, big things like that. If you're not doing that work on specifically on a soul level, this could also be like getting a really good therapist or having a really good breakthrough in therapy, some sort of like emotional breakthrough. Something coming in that really increases your sense of self, that increases your sense of self. I'm just trying to grab onto something that's a little bit abstract, but also very specific, so it's important. There's this sense even of like looking at your, I don't want to say demons, but that's the word that's coming through, like looking your demons in the face and accepting them for what they are, and through the acceptance of them, letting them go, or integrating them and retaining what you need of that energy. But just being able to look yourself in the eyes and demand truth from yourself. Okay, that's really what it is. It's stepping into your own truth, your whole truth as a soul being, what you're here to do, your soul's purpose, and the things that have prevented you from achieving your soul's purpose, or knowing what your soul's purpose is, or taking a more active role in your life, because of trauma, because of whatever has happened in your past that prevented you from being as big or as expansive or as loud or as authoritative as you could be. And the ability to really look at those things with total self-honesty. Like, this is a moment of self-reflection that cuts very, very deep. That cuts very, very deep. Like to the bone is what I'm getting. So maybe even ancestral work for some of you. This is a truth, a self-truth that cuts so deep that you see past the bullshit in an entirely new way. Like there's, I don't know, just this clear mirror. You're able to look at yourself clearly, and see yourself for who you truly are, both at the current time trauma-based level, whatever that is for you, and also at the whole soul level, who you really are beyond this lifetime, your full radiance, your full being, and everything that you're capable of on the soul level, beyond this lifetime, and including this lifetime, the ability to hold space for both the karmic issues you came into this life to learn about and resolve, and the part of you that chooses their path and writes their path as they walk, and is the consciousness beyond this ego mind, this ego body, you as an individual. So reclaiming really, really deep lost gifts. Maybe they're ancestral gifts you're reclaiming. Maybe they're gifts from the shadow you're reclaiming. Maybe they're soul parts, lost soul parts that you're getting returned. Or maybe it's just being able to get to a place this month where you can look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is exactly who I am. No more, no less. And that is a multifaceted thing, being able to hold space for what on the surface level could just seem quite, I don't know, mundane or even dysfunctional if you're dealing with some really difficult patterns. And then being able to look behind that smoke screen, look behind that veil, and see that you're just so much more than, the set of baggage that this life gave you. You know what I mean? But then you can look at that clearly for what it is, because you know that you can see yourself beyond that, right? So maybe just this ability to disidentify from your trauma, or I was telling this to Capricorn too, just disidentifying from the karmic lessons that you came into this life to learn, the trauma that you chose for yourself. Being able to look at it clearly, also, to be able to do that, you have to come to a place where, I feel like I'm rambling a bit, but I just really want to say this well because it's important. To be able to look at your baggage clearly, you have to be in a place where you realize that you're not your trauma, you're beyond your trauma. Trauma is just what has happened to you, and you can rewire that, you can let go of your trauma. And a really important component of that is being able to not identify as a victim, or to not identify with your trauma so that it becomes a part of you, because it doesn't need to be a part of you. It can just play a role in your story, and then once you learn the lessons, you heal and you let go and you move on. So just, allow it to be a part of your story in a different way. The hurtful aspects of life, the fearful aspects of life, whatever has happened to you. Can you reframe it? Can you reframe it in such a way that you recognize that we choose, we're these full, radiant, whole souls, connected to God consciousness, right? On a fundamental level. And then we choose the restrictions, the suffering, the aspects of living a life in this restricted way, which, incarnation is a restriction, basically. And so when we choose to incarnate in these bodies, we're choosing to experience, a life of restriction, at least on some level. And so, as we go through our lives and experience the frustrations, the challenges, the restrictions, the suffering, that we do it I think ultimately, Aquarius, I think that we do it on the soul level because it's fun. Because it's fun to forget who we are. Because it's fun to experience all these different kinds of sensations and fumble around in the dark and make meaning and find meaning and, follow the breadcrumbs and, move through the labyrinth of life. I think we just do it because we get something out of it as soul beings. I think it's fun. When you go to an escape room for the day, I like to see life as this giant escape room, or, maybe a film, and I'm both the leading role and I'm the filmmaker and I'm in the film, you know what I mean? Just this total immersive artistic experience. And so, if you're able to kind of switch your camera lens, the lens through which you view reality, and look at this as I like looking at this as a game. At the same time, you just need to be careful with that, because you also need to be able to not bypass to not bypass your suffering and say nothing matters and then just not give a shit about anything, because what good does that do to anyone? You want to live life fully. You want to be here in the world. You want to be in your body and be on the ground and be connected to spirit and know that you are beyond, this, what you're seeing in front of you right now. Can you hold space for both? Can you be here in the world now and know that you're so much bigger, and be able to kind of take a step back from the game when you need to? Because, if we get roped into our own ego stories, we get lost. We get lost in the game. We forget who's playing, right? And who's playing? Your authentic self, the you that's connected to all. So remember who's playing the game. Remember who you are, and that this is an experience you're having. And if you can look at trauma as this is just an experience I'm having that I chose to have so that I could heal and learn the lessons from it, right? Then you're coming into a place of balance with it so that you're taking it seriously, but you're not also falling into a pit of despair over it or viewing yourself as less than whole just because you've gone through something traumatic or difficult, right? So yeah, this is about soul reclamation by reframing your sense of identity, maybe with yourself, with the world, and with spirit, with your role in all of it. Could be a total kind of like philosophical reconstruction for some of you. It doesn't have to be that intense, but it could be. Seems like it's pretty big. So yeah, lots of things going on for you, Aquarius. Lots of big things. A lot of soul development. Moving into the Celtic cross spread. Said a lot of words there. Okay, Seven of Swords. I literally have never pulled this in this deck before. This is the first time that I pulled this Seven of Swords card from the Quantum deck. So the first thing that's coming in is just use your words wisely. This may be about a situation in which you need to exercise a lot of tact. So if you need to remove yourself from a situation, whether it's a job or a relationship or a living situation, words, I'm hearing words can cut both ways, which means you can be hurtful and the other person or people or entity or whatever this is about can also hurt you. So you need to protect yourself. Yeah, be as guarded as you can in regards to the situation. It really does seem like somebody's coming at you a little bit hard and sharp, but I also see, the likelihood of a response back being kind of the same and you guys just mirroring each other, whatever the situation is. So, if you need to get out of a situation, think very, very carefully. Think it through, really strategize. The most important thing is that you're safe and that you're not hurting the people around you. Other than that, it's pretty much fair game in terms of what you need to do to get out of the situation. So why is the situation not working? Is it something that was working and you're just realizing isn't now? Was somebody not being completely honest with you about a situation and now you're realizing you've landed yourself in a situation you didn't really want to end up in? And then what do you do about that dishonesty? But it really does seem like the dishonesty or the deception is not coming from you, it's coming from somebody else. So just protect yourself and exit a situation that you need to exit, okay? Don't feel like you have to fall on somebody's sword. You don't, just leave, just protect yourself, okay? That's all I'm getting there. So crossing that Seven of Swords energy, needing to come up with an exit strategy, essentially. And we have the Ace of Wands, which is a new start, a better start, a more passionate start towards something that really has heart and meaning for you. It does seem like some of you are in a bit of a situation in relationship. So this could very easily mean that either you were cheating or somebody else was cheating if you're in a romantic relationship. And so you may just need to exit a relationship, but it looks like it's going to be a little bit sneaky. Maybe it could be a situation where like you found out somebody was cheating, like your partner was cheating, and they don't know that you know for some reason. For some reason that seems safer, and so you're just trying to exit without creating much of a fuss, maybe. Yeah, it seems like you're in a difficult relationship in some regard. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic. It could be like, your workplace is fucking you over a little bit or something like that. Another relationship thing is landing on me here. It does seem like there's somebody else. I mean, like for you, there's somebody else. So this may be a situation in which you've met somebody else and because it doesn't even feel like it was just like two timing or something like that. It doesn't seem like full on cheating. It seems like a weird situation. Like there's just something like weird, like a triangle, like a love triangle maybe, or you started developing feelings for somebody else, and you're in a relationship and you don't know how to finesse your way out of this relationship that isn't working and into this new one. What else am I feeling with this energy? It just seems like you have a lot of passion building, but that passion is just going in a very different direction from whatever the Seven of Swords energy is. So you do need to exit, even if nothing's like really wrong. Maybe the deception here, if you're being the deceiver, is just like, for some reason, you can't be totally honest about why you're leaving this situation and what this new opportunity is, and so you kind of have to like be a little bit not secretive, that's not the word I'm looking for, selective, a little bit selective about what you say to whom. You don't, it's like you don't have to give, if this is a job that you're leaving, you don't have to give them all the information. You don't have to tell them necessarily why you're leaving just because a new opportunity came around. You don't have to tell them everything. Same with a relationship. If you're leaving for somebody else, if you're leaving someone for somebody else, you don't have to tell them everything. Yeah, it's about a 50-50 split actually between like who's being the deceiver, and deception isn't necessarily a bad thing if you're trying to protect yourself or others, and what you're saying or not saying isn't like necessarily hurting anyone. Because if you need to leave a situation, you just need to leave a situation, right? And if that situation is tricky for some reason and you need to kind of keep certain things under wraps, that's fine. Because it does seem like the real deception is coming out of whatever the situation is and why you have to leave in the first place. So you're not being the deceiver. Even if you are deceiving to get out of the situation, you weren't the original deceiver. That's what it is. So it's both. There's a mirror happening here. You're going to have to deceive to get out of the situation, but you've already been deceived by somebody else. Somebody lied to you about something. It could be like a boss said that you were gonna make a certain amount of money via commission payments or whatever, and you're not. You're not making the money they said you would. You're not getting the promotion that they said you would get. Your partner lied to you about something serious. Yeah, I mean, like really serious concepts here. And it's like you've already kind of mentally checked out from whatever this situation is, because this new opportunity is coming along and you're really excited about it. So I think really the only major thing here I'm feeling is be careful about jumping into this if you haven't taken the necessary precautions to exit this situation first. Don't jump too far or too fast or too long and forget to tie up the loose ends here, because you really need to be careful. You need to make sure all your paperwork is in order. You know what I mean? You really need to leave this situation clean. So I know this is exciting, this new opportunity, but just be really, really careful, okay? Yeah. Past affecting the present, we have the Three of Cups. Yeah, so some sort of love triangle situation I absolutely see here. Maybe you were just involved with two other people, like all involved with each other, or maybe it was like a love triangle situation where one person was cheating and seeing two people, or I am absolutely seeing a situation in which there's a party of three here, and somebody, either one or two of these people, were just not being honest. So this is why you need to exit, because you can't really trust what's going on here. You don't even know fully what's going on here. It's like you don't have the answers because you don't know who to believe, right? There's just a weird situation with three people where somebody or a couple of people were not being entirely honest. And it's almost like this was disguised as an amazing, like, celebratory opportunity in some way, or something that was going to bring in a lot of abundance and happiness, and it just wasn't that at all. And so you have to walk away. You owe it to yourself. Reclaim yourself and your dignity and your power, and walk away. And do it in a mature way. Face your truth, right? I'm kind of feeling, Seven of Swords can be like a confusion story or a deception story, like I said. And so there is a real need here with the Seven of Swords to look yourself in the mirror and ask yourself what you really deserve, because you don't deserve this, whatever this is, you know what I mean? So face the truth of the fact that the situation sucks and you shouldn't be here because you owe yourself something way better, right? Okay. In your foundation, we have the Eight of Pentacles. Again, you're showing up with a lot of maturity. Like, there's kind of the sense of, like, you're not here to play games, right? You're approaching the situation very pragmatically. You're asking yourself, what do I need to do to grow moving on from here? If this is a new opportunity coming in, could be a new relationship, a new job, something that really matters to you that you're excited about. You want to give this your all, and you want to make sure that you're really coming at this with skill, with mastery, with pragmatism, and make sure that you're really doing your due diligence and learning as you go. So if this is a relationship, it's like being the best partner you can be. If this is a new job, it's like just being the best in your role that you can possibly be, wanting to show up and do your best, kind of as a way to kind of heal this tricky situation. I think, because people weren't entirely being honest here, there wasn't a lot of integrity in this situation. And so I feel like you're recommitting yourself to your own sense of integrity, reclaiming that sense of integrity by saying, okay, I'm going to make a different choice now and really do my due diligence and commit to, whatever this new situation is. Okay, so I love that for you. Crowning you, we have the Knight of Pentacles. So you're ready to move on. You're ready to this is a fast-moving energy, so is this. You're just ready to get a move on, move away from this old situation, really start the new. It's like you already have the skill set. There's things to refine and continue to learn. Like, this is the next step up. Kind of like if you just graduated undergrad and you're going into grad school, it's like kind of that energy. Like, you're leveling up in some way with this new situation. And it's moving forward at a steady pace. But what I like about the Knight of Pentacles energy is, even though it's a knight, it's still the slowest moving knight. And that's just because it's earth energy. It's very careful. It's making sure that you really have stable foundation, stable roots, and that you're really taking care of every single thing. No shortcuts, right? Seven of Swords can be like a shortcut energy. And you're saying, no, with this new situation, no shortcuts. I'm going to do this correctly this time. And you are just continuing to take action steps forward, in a much better, more complete, more holistic, more devoted way than before. So showing up with a lot of maturity and integrity, Aquarius. New circumstance. King of Wands. This is how you're showing up. King of Wands is really like the greatest visionary energy. King of Wands has a lot of passion and a lot of love for his kingdom. And King of Wands is somebody that, like, doesn't just order around, he leads too. Like, he's a real leader. Like, he really picks up the slack. He doesn't make everybody else work for him. He pulls his own weight, but he still, makes sure that all the work that's going on suits his vision and his style of leadership and his style of authority, because it is his show and he's running it. And so this is how you're showing up. So maybe you're stepping into like a new kind of leadership position. You're reclaiming your power as a leader. You're saying, I need to exit this situation because this isn't good for me. And you're recommitting yourself to something brand new, that you have the skill set already to accomplish. And this time you're just not taking any shortcuts. You're not going to jump into a situation with somebody that you don't know that you can trust. You're really relying on your own sense of self here to get you to where you need to go. And you're just pulling your own weight. And so, yeah, you're stepping into being a leader for yourself first and foremost. Even if there isn't anybody behind you, you're still going in a new direction for yourself. So, beautiful work. Your energy this month will be the Ace of Swords. You're just filled to the brim with ideas. And you just don't know, fully what that's going to look like yet, and that's fine. Ace of Swords is just, it's a card of pure potential. And this is saying you're wanting to come into this new situation with new energy, new insight, new ideas, with the wisdom and maturity that you have now, with whatever you've learned, you know, from this situation, and you're ready and open and willing to receive the things that you need to get there. So you may just be, you know, this could be just a co-creation with spirit, you know. What does spirit want you to do or suggest that you do in the service of, you know, your own heart and soul's purpose? And what can you receive from the spirit world, you know, in the form of like an energetic download while you're meditating, or insight, or it could even be information that you read in a book or something. You never know where the insight's going to strike, you know. So just be open. Looks like you're being really, really open and just waiting to receive what that like $1 million idea is going to be. And I'm totally supporting you there. It's a good time to be open. Yeah, something will come in. Something will come in. Your environment this month, we have the Four of Cups. So this is that fourth cup coming in from spirit. So it's sort of like you're saying no to all of these situations that don't serve you, maybe setting new boundaries as you're reclaiming your sense of power and leadership and authority, and moving towards something that really has heart and meaning for you, something you're really excited about, new potential, new opportunity. Because you're saying no to lots of things that you've decided aren't good for you, you're basically clearing all the debris out, and you're paving the way for new things to come in, because you're getting rid of what no longer works, like old baggage, old trauma, whatever. And so as you're kind of resting on your laurels, right, as you've kind of done the big clean out and gotten yourself back to like a good ground zero, like a clean energy, ready to roll, ready for the next cycle, an offer is going to come in, and it's going to be directly from spirit. So it's going to be this energetic download. It's going to be the thing that says, hey, this is where you should go. And, you know, then you have the lightning strike moment and you're off to the races, right? Okay, so we have a good mix here of like fast-paced energies and careful energies. So it's not like you're going so fast you can't slow down. It's like you're totally operating on a level of like whatever works for you. So go at your own pace, honor your own natural rhythm and timing. Things are flowing, and they're flowing at a really solid, earthy kind of rate where you can kind of really sink yourself into whatever it is that you're doing, but things are moving forward. Okay, you're not really getting stuck. It's not stop and go. It's just kind of like a slow trot. Okay, so you're just walking along. It's a really nice flow. In your hopes and fears this month, we have the Eight of Cups. Now, this can kind of be a grieving card, and that's what's coming in. Just because this situation sucked, this situation that you're trying to exit, doesn't mean that it didn't have heart and meaning for you at the time. Like, just because things went south doesn't mean that you didn't enter this with a lot of positive intent, you know, especially if there was lies and deception and it wasn't your fault, you know, whatever went down, you're just kind of the victim of it or whatever. And so it may be kind of weird to feel like you have to grieve this situation, because I know there's probably anger involved. And also, you're Aquarius, so I think there's a really big sense of kind of like, okay, it didn't work, so let's just drop it. Let's just let it go and move forward. Like, this isn't worth my time, you know? And you're right, it's not. That's why you're reclaiming your power and your leadership and whatever. But still, you may have feelings of sadness or grief at the fact that, like, this didn't work out, or over the fact that things went down the way they did. And so give yourself permission to feel sad about it, so that you can fully move on. If you really do, just give yourself the time to address it, even though it's probably weird to feel like you have to grieve a situation that has caused so much anger. You need to grieve the dream, basically what it was before things went south. And you need to grieve that dream so that you can renew the next dream and go towards this new start with all of your energy. Really give it your all, with your trust too. If we don't fully grieve, sometimes we enter a new situation not really trusting the outcome because we still have emotions in the way, and we can repeat patterns that way if we don't deal with our grief. So deal with your grief. Grieve what didn't work out, recommit to what's on the horizon, because there's a really big guarantee here with the Eight of Cups that what is on the horizon is going to be much better for you, okay? In your outcome this month, we have the Queen of Cups and the Two of Cups. Let's look at the Queen of Cups. This is about you being really honest with yourself about your own emotions and what you need moving forward. And the Two of Cups is you recommitting yourself to your own heart and soul. What do you love? Pursue those things. What do you need? Pursue those things. What do you want? Pursue those things. What gives you a sense of purpose and passion and motivation and inspiration? Pursue those things. This is about just pursuing all the good stuff. What makes you feel good about yourself and how can you give yourself more of it with total dedication and commitment to your own life. So that is what's on the docket here. Okay, Aquarius, mature themes, but I also, like, I feel your ability to just kind of move through it. It doesn't really feel like there's a lot of extremes. It feels like you're like, okay, this is the situation and I'm handling it. Okay, so, and you're able to hold space for a lot of complexity. The complexity really came through with this Reclaim card, where it seems like all of y'all's situation is different, but it really does have to do with recommitment to your soul contract, your contract with yourself in this lifetime, and reclaiming your power, your wisdom, your leadership, your gifts, the things you came into this world with to do. Reclaiming that which was lost. And I think this theme is so much bigger than what this particular situation is here with the Seven of Swords energy. It's just that this situation triggered these really old traumatic responses in which you've realized, oh, I'm in this situation because I haven't picked up my power, so I'm just going to pick up my power, do this soul reclamation work, and then move towards the new goal, move towards what you really want. So it's all good. You're just showing up with a lot of maturity, so I think you're going to be fine. If you'd like to schedule something with me in the box below to discuss this situation, exit strategies, if you need a healing, or are more curious about the soul reclamation aspect of it, you can schedule something with me there and we can talk about that. If you just want to reach out to me about healing resources, like you don't want a reading or anything, but you want a soul retrieval, then you can just like email me or DM me on Instagram or whatever, and I can just point you to the right resource for that. And if you just want some direction on where to go next, if you kind of have an idea, but you're looking for, you're looking for the meat of it or whatever, or the next step or whatever, you can schedule something with me and we can talk about that. So love to speak with you if that's the case. And otherwise, I will see you guys next month. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to see the next Aquarius video, and then I will see you in June. Good luck, have a good month, and congratulations on this work. Seems like you're really headed towards something amazing on the horizon, so I'm looking forward to seeing how that unfolds. All right, have a good month. Bye.